over to our left, all of that burned area, that's from the Cameron Peak. I see the meadow, and then
they were just running into the trees going this way.
they're all over. This is like ants on a hill.
I'm Angelique Curtis. I'm a wildlife biologist out of Area 4 for Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And today we did a elk flight for the herd E4, which is north of Fort Collins. The purpose of these flights is to get classification. Classification is the cow, calf, and bulls that we see on the ground, and that is entered into a model. And then from there we use the model to produce population estimates and to decide how many licenses we need to give out each year. And so this was the first flight ever done in E4 since 2006. And this was a special flight because we used collars. So we used the Judas elk to locate a lot of the herds that we classified today. And today we probably classified around 4,200 elk. So going out to locate the elk today, we use the Judas collars to do that. And the way that we do that is we do aerial flights, and our pilot will actually get to a group and then go around the group to make sure there's no hazards in the way, including fences or if there's horses around.
See what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any fences, but
We're always looking for ways that we will not harm the animal, and if there is at any time a hazard in the way, we pull off the animal quickly. These groups that we're seeing can be up to 2,000 elk at a time, and in order for us to properly classify them, the pilot has to go in there and actually carve off a group of about 35 to 40 elk at a time. And then his job is also to keep the elk separated from the main herd. So when we're doing this, it's definitely the pilot and his skills that get us the data that we need. And as a biologist, I sit there and I talk into a recorder and just call off whether I see a cow, a calf, or a bull. And at the end of the day, I go back, I listen to my recording, I get that all down into a spreadsheet. So it's kind of a long, laborious process to come up with some really good data.
cow, a spike, a cow, a bull, a cow, a 4-point, a spike, a bull, 10 cows, a calf, a cow, a calf, a calf, a calf, a cow, a cow, a cow, a cow, a cow, 6 cows, 3 cows.
My name's Cameron Stallings. I work for Aerotech out of Clovis, New Mexico. I'm the chief pilot, and I'm here doing wildlife surveys for Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And flying wildlife it's not what you can see, it's what your customers can see, right? And so that's the main thing I concentrate on. There's a lot of times I can't see the animals. I just kind of watch your guys' head, and if they're looking left or right, I know how I need to maneuver the helicopter. A lot of animal welfare goes into it. You don't want to run them through fences or over cliffs or run them too long or things like that. And of course you have weather, winds, snow, and it changes every 10 minutes here in Colorado. So, and flying in the mountains when it's windy and is difficult, and there's things you got to consider there. So, I've been doing this since I was 19 years old, and I'm 33 now. I started out in a Schweitzer 300C. I went to flight school just right down here in Broomfield, so I'm kind of connected with the area, which I think is kind of neat. But yeah, I would be a biologist if I wasn't a pilot. So, and I love to hunt, I love to fish, and so it all kind of comes together when you're flying. I really enjoy it.
For the Cameron Peak fire, the elk that we saw today actually summered up in where the Cameron Peak fire burned on Comanche Peak, Wilderness, Long Draw area, up in Dead Man, and they moved on to their wintering ground. And what we saw today is that the fire didn't inhibit them from actually getting to their wintering ground, and we saw some pretty good calf recruitment. It's not great, but the whole state doesn't have really great calf recruitment right now. But we did see healthy animals on the ground, so the fire didn't seem to affect their health-wise. As a wildlife biologist for CPW, this is one of the the best parts of the job is getting up in the air and actually seeing the animals on the ground. Not only just to see how the health of the herd is, but also to kind of look at the landscape and see how it's being utilized and how the habitat is out there. And it beats sitting at a desk any day. And so this is one of the better parts. I definitely like doing the ground captures and doing ground surveys too, but I get to fly a couple times a year, and like I say, today was one of the best days to fly.